Howdy. My name is Laura. You can also call me Lala. And this is the start of my podcast that I'm naming Lumbradita Talks. I want to give a little bit of context about how I came up with the name Lumbradita Talks. So growing up, I would hear my mom say, hay que hacer una lumbradita. It's this idea of creating a bonfire outside, cooking a meal together outside, and gathering together and talking, chatting, sharing some laughter, and depending on how late it gets, sharing stories, right? I think that practice of gathering around in a circle around a fire is very much rooted in ancestral wisdom. It's an opportunity for folks to feel seen, to connect, to reflect back, to gain some wisdom, to gain some new insight. And I also believe that I have had a pretty interesting life so far, and I want to share my story. You know, I've gone through pretty interesting, like I said, experiences, and I'm hoping that some folks will feel seen through it. Some folks might gain some new insight, and others might be able to connect with others through this. And so I'm going to be breaking up this podcast in a mini-series. Each mini-series is going to be around a certain theme or a topic. And so my first one is going to be about my coming out story. I feel like it's pretty timely right now because it is Pride Month. And at my age, almost at the age of 42, I'm still figuring out what pride means to me as a queer person. This podcast mini-series, these 4 series episodes, I'm going to be calling them Lo que se ve no se dice. It's alluding to this Mexican icon, Juan Gabriel. May he rest in peace. He was interviewed once, and the journalist asked him to respond to these allegations that he was gay, because he never officially came out publicly. And his response was, lo que se ve no se dice. It's this idea of what is obvious doesn't need to be stated. And when I saw that, I really it kind of struck me, because when I came out, some folks were surprised and some folks were not. And I think it really reflected this idea that some people in my life have truly seen me and what's in my heart and what my intentions are. And that all contributed to me coming out in my early 30s. I came out in 2017. That's less than 10 years ago. And so these 4 episodes are going to be just kind of going through the journey and sharing my stories along the way that led to me ultimately coming out in my early 30s. And the first episode, chapter 1 of Lo que se ve no se dice, is going to be around my childhood and my adolescence. And so I'm looking forward to connecting with others, and I really appreciate you hearing me out.